All right, it's time for my favorite segment. It's called Stump My Nephew. My nephew Sam, really good with gun trivia. He's been on the show for years. It's extremely hard to stump him. If you send us in some kind of gun trivia, gun history, or the function of guns, something like that, send us in a question. If we use it on the air, we'll send you a hat or a shirt. Or if you stump my nephew with your question, we will give you a special prize. But good luck with that. So without further ado, Sam, you there?
Yeah. How's everyone there?
Good, man. How are you?
Not bad. It's a snow day here in Virginia. I'm sure you can't relate, but good.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I got to tell you, it's really cold here. It dipped down to the high 50s, I think, overnight. So, listen, I feel your pain. Okay, so this week's question, I think, is a good one. I don't know if it's going to stump you. It actually seems like it's in your wheelhouse, but Alicia, we're going to have you read it. Go ahead.
All right. Your question, Sam, comes from Suzanne from Oceanside, and she asks, what is the current standard issue long arm for Israel, and what preceded it? And we also have a bonus part to this question, but we'll start with that first part.
Suzanne from Oceanside, thanks for writing in. What is the current standard long arm for Israel? Now, it's a little bit of there's an asterisk to it. There's an asterisk to a lot of these questions. As far as I'm aware, their military standard long arm is the IWI Tavor, but you will see a lot of service members there, particularly reservists, using M16 and M4 variants that they've acquired from the United States. The U.S. has shipped Israel a lot of arms over the decades, since about the 70s. And consequently, they have a crap ton of M16s and M16 parts that they have used and rebuilt into various configurations. But for frontline service, their standard long arm is the Tavor.
Correct?
And then the other part of that question.
What preceded?
Yeah, what preceded the Tavor?
The Tavor was preceded by the Galil, to which it is very mechanically similar. The Galil is a variant of the AK platform, and the Tavor SAR, which they use in the X95, which you can buy in the United States today, it's a little more complicated than this, but they are largely AK derived. It's kind of basically a Galil action shoved inside a plastic Bullpup chassis, which it's there's a little more to it than that, but it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Okay. So the current is the Tavor. You got that. What preceded it was the Galil.
Got that. And then the bonus question, which I hadn't given you yet, is what caliber was the long arm that had preceded it? So what caliber is the Galil?
The Galil is also in 5.56. They made some of them in 7.62 by 51, but I don't know if their military used those. I'm pretty sure some were exported to the United States for civilian sales, but the standard Galil is in 5.56. The Tavor, as used in the Israeli military, is also in 5.56, but it's designed to be caliber convertible to 300 blackout and 9mm.
Yep, that's all correct.
That's it.
That's all 100%. Correct, man. What have you
want
shot
me to go even farther?
Okay.
Before they used the Galil, they were using FN FALs, very early pattern ones, in 7.62 NATO. Before most NATO countries adopted the FAL, and before that, they were using a smattering of whatever they could find surplus left over after World War II. Including, interestingly, a bunch of Mausers rebarreled for 7.62 NATO, which I think is super cool. I'd love to have, not necessarily because of the Israeli provenance, but I would love to have a Mauser in 308 Winchester or 7.62 NATO, because the ammo is a lot easier to find and a lot cheaper than 7.92 by 57.
It's an amazing story. When they did form as a country, they were immediately attacked by basically all their neighbors. Correct me if you know the history better than I, but And yeah, they had to kind of pull together anything they could, any kind of armament, any kind of, plane, any kind of tank, any kind of truck, any kind of firearm that they could possibly find. And a lot of it was, oddly enough, a lot of it was, my understanding was leftover German, armament that was that they could, scrape together and find, and they had to piece together this, that, and the other thing. But they finally, after being a successful country, came out with some pretty cool arms. Some of the stuff that they created was pretty amazing, and I think the Tavor and the Galil are definitely examples of that. Particularly I think the Tavor is just amazing. I mean, I think it's probably, I think it's amazing. I think it's one of the best bullpups out there. I think it's a really, really good competitor for, the AR platform and a really good replacement for some of the, an FAL. And I think it's amazing. I think it's an amazing, I had the pleasure of shooting one with an IWI representative, and he really walked me through like how it was ergonomically, created, and they really did a good job. I thought it was pretty amazing.
On a shotgun platform, I actually prefer the IWI, the Tavor, the TS12. I prefer that over the Keltec KSG.
Oh, yeah?
Personally, yeah, I like the Tavor platform better.
Yeah, the Tavor is neat. It has in my opinion, pretty well thought out control scheme. That's a common complaint among people accustomed to a conventionally configured long arm, that bullpups are weird. Everything's in the wrong place. I disagree. You think everything is in the wrong place because it's in the wrong place relative to what you learned on. It's not objectively bad, or at least not enough to make a huge difference for most people. It's just a training difference. And to that point, several months ago, sometime last year, I think, I pushed up a blog post this was admittedly kind of a gimmick, but it was a series of blog posts that I introduced as being from an alternate timeline that is exactly like ours, except that bullpup rifles became mainstream in like the 70s.
Yeah.
And so it's a blog post by someone from that timeline complaining about ARs and AKs and similar having weird controls and being really forward heavy, and everything's in the wrong place, and they're way too long for their barrel length and all that stuff.
And the Galil they took an AK. It wasn't similar. They took an AK and redesigned it, right?
Yep.
I mean,
it's basically a finished helmet with some design alterations. It's pretty much one for one AK.
Nice. All right, well, there you go. Excellent job, Suzanne from Oceanside. That was a multi-layer question, and I think you knocked it out of the park with all 3 layers there, Sam. So good job. Awesome.
Thanks for having me on.
You bet. If you want to try to stump my nephew, just email us a question, and good luck. We'll see if you can do it. So good job, Sam. See you, man.
Thanks. And one more thing, everyone out there, please go to my recent blog post on the Gun Owners Radio blog about concealed carry data. I have a survey out, and I need as many respondents as I possibly can. So if you carry a concealed handgun, if you have carried a concealed handgun at any time during the past year other than for work, please go respond to that survey and give me your accurate results so I can figure out the state of affairs out there.
There you go. Will do. Awesome job, Sam.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks for watching Gun Owners Radio. I hope you loved that clip. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and follow us on social media. And check out our website at gunownersradio.com.